Hello, Sacred Souls. It's Susanna from Alamanic Shaman. What I have here for us tonight is getting rid of any remaining leftovers of that dark Jezebel, narcissistic, devil type energy that keeps trying to latch on to many of us light workers. And it seems like no matter how often we banish it out of our lives and we do the best we can, it keeps coming back like a boomerang. So today I had a situation where I should have spoken up, but because of how we were trained basically from a young age on, like with this societal programming of playing along with the dark, I ended up not saying anything because it seemed like such a minor thing, but I know energetically those kind of things do have an impact. And I could have kicked myself afterwards. So I felt like this is something that probably quite a few of us struggle with, that on a good day, it's easy to be super strong, have great boundaries and so on. But then sometimes on a day when we don't feel our best, sometimes it's easier that our boundaries get overstepped by someone, or we are made to feel kind of uncomfortable in one way or another. So I'll quickly tell you. So basically, there was someone else. So I make deliveries, and there was someone else also picking up a delivery, and we worked for the same company. It turned out I could tell by the bag he had, and I exchanged a few words with him, and then of course he turned into a slime ball saying, "Oh yeah, if all the drivers are this," and I don't even remember exactly what he said, but if they're this nice, but it was kind of implied like, ooh, sexy and whatever, slimy, sexist nonsense. I just ignored it because that was the programming I was raised with, to stand above it and ignore it, which allows it to happen, linger in the energy field, and kind of continue seeping in there, right? So I did my cord cutting and all the stuff afterwards to, do damage control. But it's like so much of that dark programming is ingrained in us because we're raised a certain way. We're taught to behave and react in a certain way that is not empowering, that actually stops us or hinders us from being in our power, in our truth. So that's the intention for this ceremony, that we heal whatever it is that is still not fully letting us let go of that programming and conditioning, that we keep falling back into that initial victimized response that was imposed on us from a young age on, or a relatively young age. So what I have here for us today is a fairly large stick that reminds me again of a pitchfork, so representing that devil energy. Then I have this sort of crooked little, mini branch, and in the dark I couldn't really see that it was from a white pine tree, but I felt the prickly needles somehow. Not somehow, I felt them. And somehow I felt that it was almost like an evil witch's instrument of some sort to cast evil spells or anything like that. So that's what we're going to use it for. That's what it shall represent, like the evil witchcraft, the spells, the evil spells, curses and hexes put on us, that may also prevent some of that, or that may continue because there are people around us who don't want us to come into our power. And that shall also be represented by these, makeshift rope handcuffs, sort of, or like just how people used to be tied up. And we're going to cut them, but either way, like in the fire, it's going to be all burnt away anyway. Then this piece of bark shall represent how we want, like the intention of shedding the old skin fully and completely and leaving the old behind. And then I found this really cool cardboard that was in a shoe, the right one. So that shall represent putting the right foot forward and like stepping forward, right? And since it's fall and I don't like to actually hurt plants or trees or shrubs, I'm using something that's almost dying here, but it shall represent a tree, and the tree represents life, right? So this shall be our new life after getting rid of all of that. All right, so let's call in our spirit guides. And give me one sec, I gotta shift back a little bit here. I was slipping off the rock I was sitting on. Okay, let's call in our spirit guides. Dear Creator, higher power, source, and soul energy, our higher selves, our higher spirit guides of the light, and our ancestors that are in the light, and all of our guardian angels that keep watching over us, and Great Spirit of the Fire, please help us heal from and let go of any and all last remaining programming and conditioning that keeps us again and again reacting in the old, victimized, unempowered way. And help us stand strong, centered, and grounded within ourselves and within our truth that we know, rather than playing along with the evil game of the narcissistic Jezebel devil type energy, power, entity, whatever, however you want to think of it. Thank you, Miigwech. Dankeschön. And I also wanted to give thanks. I forgot that earlier. Thank you for always letting me find exactly what I need for each ceremony, when I need it. Like, for example, even the little gift boxes yesterday, they were basically little tea packages that I then used. And the strings I also got from somewhere for free. So that was actually amazing. Then this one too, right? And finding the perfect tree branch and so on. It's like, in between that and the guidance, it seems like every day I just know what I need to do next and so on. So I want to give special thanks for that as well, because it helps me stay focused and excited, and it's not getting stagnant. It's not getting boring. Well, most of the times. Once in a while, I kind of repeat the same things, but it's also because the same energies keep coming back in again and again. And it helps me also feel strongly guided and feel safe. And yeah, so just giving thanks to all of our spirit guides, because even though right now I'm speaking for myself, I know that all of you who are watching, you have your own guidance as well. And your spirit guides are helping you each day and send you signs in whichever form they may come. And they kind of nudge you to work on this or that and heal this or that. So I think I can actually speak for all of us. saying thanks for all the guidance. All right. So let's put all the evil witchcraft, dark evil spells, curses, hexes, and all the ill wishes and ill-intended energies that people keep sending us and have sent us. Let's put all of that in the fire. Let it be now and forever broken and finished, so that nothing shall hold us back and we can move forward and step ahead into our new higher timelines and move forward in our ascensions. And let us put those devil energies into the fire once more. And let me switch hands. Let any and all shackles and things that still bind us to the old paradigm now be cut, severed, and finished. Let us be freed fully and completely. Oh, the other one was so much easier to cut. This one somehow, here we go. All right, you can see both sides are cut open. We are now free from any restrictions, anything trying to keep us imprisoned, held back, and so on. Let that all be burnt away. Help us fully and completely shed our old skin so that we can move ahead freely. Let us put the right foot forward and let us start stepping and moving ahead. Whoops. I'll move that in a second. Actually, here. No. Okay, once more. Hang on. Okay, let's try this again. Here we go. Okay, I'll have to move it again, but that's okay. I'll get up in a second. And let us step into our new life, represented by this branch that shall represent like a mini tree in a sense. Let this be the beginning of our new ascended life. And so it is. Thank you, Miigwech. Dankeschön, all my relations. And let me just move that foot thing again, so that it can also go right into the fire. It keeps turning around, which is weird. Yeah, that's kind of the thing that keeps stopping us from moving forward and moving ahead. That's why it keeps flipping over. It's like all this stuff still keeps hindering us in moving forward and moving ahead. So let that all be burnt away, transmuted into love and light, and let us be flooded with lots of supportive and healing energies to help us neutralize and transmute anything that no longer serves us, and help us, fill us with the strength and certainty and inner, not just calm, sort of stoic, calm like a stone, not stone cold, but that nothing can sway us when the storms of narcissistic evil try to hit us again. That we stand strong, centered, and grounded within ourselves, and that we speak our truth fully and completely, so that we take our power back, and we stand as sovereign beings. Wow, and this looks really cool. Just right over there. Actually, it doesn't really catch it with a camera, but there's one part where the fire is completely blue. And that actually, wow, that just reminds me of something that was shown to me a few weeks ago. I was guided to an old black and white movie in a dream that's called The Blue Light. It's by Leni Riefenstahl, which was a German filmmaker in the 1930s. I was never really interested in watching her movies because she was supported by Hitler, and I thought, oh my gosh. But when I just read up on what that movie's about, I was actually really impressed, because it was about this woman who lived high up in the mountains, and she kept going, and she was considered a witch by the villagers who didn't understand her and her spirituality. And this woman kept going into this crystal cave that had blue crystals, or bluish, and depending on how the sunlight hit them, this blue light was shining out of that cave. It like reflected out, and that's why the movie was called The Blue Light. And eventually, someone else, a stranger, comes to the village to visit. He falls in love with the woman, and he was trying to help, thinking that, after she showed him her secret, like that cave, he felt that the villagers would accept her if, they knew about the riches of the cave and so on. So then the villagers pillaged the cave and emptied it of all the crystals, which ended up having her jump to her death, which was a tragic ending. But the villagers just turned out to be greedy and judgmental and not thankful at all in any way, shape, or form. And somehow I feel like a lot of us light workers are like that woman who, we're in our own world, we practice our spirituality, but it's like mainstream 3D society does not understand us quite yet. They're not at that point yet. And if we share too much, then we end up being really misjudged. So I don't know why that just came into my mind when I saw the blue in the flame there. But yeah, I think that's the kind of stuff that also needs to be transmuted, because it's coming to me now. Yeah. Because that pain and suffering from also previous lifetimes of being misunderstood, being judged, and often persecuted as witches or wizards, or even like in Druidic days, like as people became Christianized, they were persecuted as well, and so forth, right? So, and like in different cultures, similar things were going on. So we learned to hide certain things, to practice certain things in secret, to have the cloak of invisibility around us in a sense, and to not so much be out in the open. And just today I was also guided to a video that actually it was a light language healing to step out of invisibility and claim the light, so that we can, once we fully shine our light, and it's like turning on the light in a sense, so that we can be seen by others. And that way we can also find our soul family, because if we're in hiding, we can't find each other, right? So I think we actually got to expand it to that as well. It's funny, I wasn't going to actually tie that in, but somehow I feel like it does tie in. Because getting rid of all that old stuff that has kept us in fear, like our souls in fear for millennia and millennia, because of persecution and being judged wrongly and harshly, being labeled, being outcast, and so on, has made us so cautious. But we're stepping into a new time where that is accepted, and where more and more people awaken, and we can actually take that power back as well. And also we're in a time now where women are equal, at least in our Western countries and cultures. Whereas like 2,000 years ago, Jesus wouldn't have existed if he had been a woman, because he would have never made it to that fame. And that's also a video that I just came across where Mary Magdalene and Jesus's mother, like Mother Mary, they were also healing, but they couldn't really get the credit. Jesus got the credit, right? So all of that toxic male dominance and control is also something that we still need to heal from and let go. So please, our spirit guides, help us heal from all of that. Help us let it all go and find inner peace and happiness. Whoops, sorry, my hand just pushed the phone over. And help us get to a place of inner understanding and compassion for all those that are still living in those constraints, that they haven't really awakened to the new reality yet, that haven't really started on their ascension path yet. But we're all exactly where we need to be at a certain point in our development. So thank you to the divine and all of our spirit guides and ancestors and everyone in the spirit world, spiritual realm, guiding us, protecting us, and helping us heal. Thank you, Miigwech, Dankeschön, all my relations. And let us be filled and surrounded once more by massive amounts of healing light, unconditional love, blessings and protections, and an abundance in all areas of our lives. Let us be surrounded by a massive 12D shield with golden light to keep us immensely safe and protected. And so it is. All my relations. Oh, wow. The energies feel really good now. Whew. And actually, I forgot to even mention the candle that I was burning earlier too, because I felt like we needed extra light for all of this. Okay, so thank you all for watching, and I wish you all the best as well. Send you lots of love and light as well. Be well until next time. Bye.